Welcome everyone to another episode with with my rocks with your host Eric McCuskey, the dinosaur guy. I have a huge recap from last weekend. Was fantastic. Going to the Carnegie Museum of Natural History in Pittsburgh, PA. Let's just put it this way: if I had to give it 1 out of 5, 1 to 5 stars, I would give it a 10-star rating. Carnegie Museum of Natural History is one of the top 5 natural history museums all across the world. It competes pretty much with the Smithsonian. So I don't know if you've seen the few videos that I already posted. I would definitely make sure you go check that out. It's very short videos, but I wanted to bring you something of what I was seeing there. All because, I have a little bit issue just trying to get pictures and try to show it on this video. But any which way, I will put it on my actual Facebook website, Playing with My Rocks. I'll share the album with you guys. So, for recapping, pretty much whenever you go into that museum, you go straight through the gift shop, directly into the museum. There's no, the gift shop is last. No. They hook you on that because you see what's all in the gift shop, including some exhibits already, like Lucy, which is a juvenile female T-Rex that's right there in your face, grinning at you. As soon as you get past all that, you got the geology, pretty much geology studies and learn about Pennsylvania geology. You get to see some actual fossils and everything through there. From there, you get to be drawn into the Jurassic Age, which has a lot of stuff. I mean, I thought, I seen a Ceratosaurus skeleton. I thought this thing was almost, taller than me. No. I'm it's only a 5-foot skeleton. I was, immensely shocked. There's some things I have never seen in person before. I got to see their famous Dippy, the Diplodocus Carnegie, skeleton that they had there. Huge. Right next to Apatosaurus, which was another huge thing. I was that's just the Jurassic. That's what you see when you go into there. That's their huge main attraction in there. Of course, you have the Allosaurus skeleton. You got Stegosaurus, Dryosaurus, Ceratosaurus. I've totally forgot. It went from the geology to the paleontology lab, where they're the prep lab, where they was preparing or actually trying to restore a mastodon skeleton because it was so caked on with shellac and everything else to try to preserve it back in the day that they decided, we're just going to work on this for a while. Look like they're doing pretty good. But yeah, then as you move through the Jurassic part, which you also see quite a lot of different things, especially fossil fish and rays and ammonites, a lot of stuff they have. You go then into the Cretaceous age, where their biggest attraction is 2 tyrannosaurs fighting over a carcass of an Edmontosaurus skeleton. One of the tyrannosaurs is one of the world's first Tyrannosaurus Rex ever found. It didn't say on the plaque which one it was, but that's what they claim at Carnegie Museum. Of course, they had Triceratops, Pachycephalosaurus, which, by the way, is not as large as what was in the Jurassic World show. They were actually small little things, almost the size of Stygimoloch. They have different types of ceratopsian skulls, including, and I will fucking put it here, excuse my language, Diabloceratops. I don't care 2 craps, Carnegie Museum of Natural History. You need to label it. We all know what it is, and I don't care about religion in the fucking museum. It needs to be fucking said. Quote, unquote. I saw it on the plaque. Unidentified species. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I will post this on my Facebook site. Diabloceratops. Are you literally trying to cover it up because of the word Diablo? Being devil and don't want to offend anyone? Come on, you're offending the scientific community by not putting that name out there. You're offending the person who found it and named it. That's the only thing I have a stickler over, is that. They should not be doing that. They need to freaking have that name right on that plaque. I don't care if it offends the Spanish community. I don't care if it offends the Christian community. Science and religion don't mix. They're two different things. Just because we use Diablo in a name doesn't mean we're citing this ceratopsian as a devil. It just looks horny. So, Carnegie Museum Natural History, you need to change that plaque. You must. And if I have to do a petition for it, I will. Because you're offending all of us scientists when it comes to that. And I do uphold, because that's one of the newest ceratopsians that was found. Any which way, as I get that rant done, you do see gigantic fish skeletons. I don't know how they prepared them, but this fish skeleton is huge. I had to have people standing by it, like a couple of my friends stand by it to actually show you how huge the fish skeleton was. And the ichthyosaur skeletons that they had, the mosasaurs. They even had a giant turtle skeleton. And a Gigaceras, I think is. I can't quite recall the name. Before I get out of the Cretaceous period, there's a special skeleton that they are very proud that they have. It's oviraptoroid called Anzu. This thing is pretty cool. It's about 6-7 foot tallish around there. And it's our very own oviraptor. Now, you probably have heard oviraptors are from over Mongolia and all that. They're called oviraptor because they thought it was eating the eggs of this nest that it was around. But no, they were sitting on them. They are giant, big turkeys. Now you can call them big turkeys. All they ate was small little animals, probably little lizards and all, and maybe even some insects because of their horned beaks. They did not have teeth. For all we know, it could also be omnivorous. Maybe they ate some berries or something, or seeds. Now, from there, you get into this Discovery World type thing, with some taxidermy. Correction. I keep skipping, mind you. I promise I won't give a whole physical of every single thing I've seen. Some of it will not even be relevant to this conversation. But you went from the Cretaceous age to the age of mammals with all these different skeletons that they had from the age of mammals. Mariops, they had different horses, they had quite different, types of rhinos. Bear dog skeleton, which, by the way, a little tidbit for you. Bear dog skeletons are about yay small. They're burrowers, and they are the predecessor or ancestor of dogs and bears. Because dogs and bears are related, and that's the common ancestor, the bear dog. Hence the name. There is also the hell pig that they had there. I'm sure if you've ever seen Walking with Prehistoric Beasts, you know what I mean by hell pig. They even have for kids a little excavation, paleontological thing that they can go in, take little hammers, try and hammer fossils out or something. That we didn't do. I was thinking of having my husband Bo do it, but Karen, I don't think our friend Karen didn't want to hang around and all that. Well, Bo had a little fun. Not to mention, we got there close to 10:30, actually, and we didn't leave the whole museum by till 3:30, and they closed at 5. Now, there's other exhibits at this museum. There is the second floor. You have the Hall of North American Animals, Hall of African Animals, Botany Hall. Trying to think what else on the second floor. Oh, overlooks of the Cretaceous room hall and the Jurassic Hall on different balconies, so you can actually photograph the pterosaurs, which are hanging from the ceiling. And yes, they have. I swear it's Quisqualis or something that's similar, because this pterosaur was huge. I see. The wingspan was probably the size of my room here. And it was probably about as long as from where I'm sitting into the other room, which is pretty big. But and then the third floor was the Egyptian exhibit, which I'm a huge Egyptian fan. I love artifacts too. This is my passion. But seeing real Egyptian artifacts, including mummies, that is a huge plus. And then, of course, you have the Polar World, which talks all about the Inuit and up north in Canada, northern Canada, and the history of them. And then you get the Native American Hall, which they have possibly a headdress that belonged to Sitting Bull, and I'm sure everyone knows who Sitting Bull is. If you don't, you're hiding under a rock, or you just never went through history class. But this place was awesome. Other than that little stint with that ceratopsian skull, we're planning on going back. I plan on going back there. And I'm also going to be dressed as Dr. Alan Grant. So if you are there on October 6th, and you see me dressed as Alan Grant, or my partner dressed as Ian Malcolm, and trust me, he looks like a young Jeff Goldblum. Definitely come, just be like, hey, can I have a photo if you want? But that's what we plan on doing, since we've already went through most of the museum and saw most of the exhibits. Of course, there might be a few things I'll probably hang around for a while with, but yeah, definitely visit them. And if you are a scientist, please petition to them in order to be able to change that nameplate to Diabloceratops. I'm sure you agree with me with that. Now, to my little special thing that I found. It's a replica, mind you. It is a replica. But it's a nice little replica. This is a hand claw from Anzu, which is this little creature. Remember what I was talking about with the oviraptor? That's this. The toe claws are much smaller than this. So the hand claw of this Anzu came from 66 million years ago in late Cretaceous from Hell Creek Formation in Harding County, South Dakota. Our very own oviraptor. And we have very few here. There's loads everywhere else. But when it comes to our own little oviraptor, it's tough. Of course, I found a little stand for him. Or her. I don't know if you want to do Jurassic Park, who knows. Now, I'm going to start talking about, I'm not going to go into detail with some of the scientific names, because you'll probably not even understand what they are or anything. Right before you probably see different kinds of round objects. These are all fossils. These are from the Echinoid family. Same family as Crinoids, which are like sea lilies. Little stems that have a little flower, little feathery thing that's at the top. These are evolutions. Pretty much sea urchins, sand dollars, and the like. Most is real fossils. The other one's modern, as you most plainly see. These little things here are our very own, very old Astroechinoids. They're probably Devonian period or Silurian, and you can tell they're pretty much in sandstone when they fossilized. You can tell it's a echinoid because of the bottom. The center would have been its mouth. And the center would have been its mouth. Now, Ohio doesn't have very many actual fossils, like anything like this on. Mostly it's been crinoids and these type of little things. We have other blastoids and all that, but it was sort of related, which I don't have fossils of at the moment, but is that Ohio's marine life passed from Silurian, Ordovician, Devonian into Mississippian and Pennsylvanian. It drastically changed. We had from giant fish roaming our shallow seas to plethora of life, and then to land. If things would, not changed, kept a shallow sea, you would have probably seen things like this. These are from Morocco, different types of echinoids, or you can almost call them as sea urchins. They probably would have been fuzzy or spiny. This probably could have been the most spiny one because it has bumps all over it, as you see. It's not the best prepared fossil. I only paid a couple dollars for this up at our local V-Rock shop, which, if you are local, I do suggest that you come to V-Rock shop, check out all their fossils, all their gems and minerals, and buy a few. They don't have a huge selection like you may find at Fossil Era or Extinctions or other fossil places online. But yeah, these are Morocco fossils. That's, of course, everything comes out of Morocco anymore, seems like. But the evolution of the echinoid, they haven't evolved very much. They tried different round styles and everything, to the point that you have what we have today. But they haven't changed very much throughout the whole entire life. This little fossil here, sarcastically speaking, is my grand piece. And it took me looking through a whole flat at V-Rock shop for it. This is Encope grandis. This is the one I had to literally look up because these are going to be tough to decipher. This, though, I was like, what's the largest sand dollar that's fossilized? And I searched around, found him. This thing is huge. It is massive. And it's probably one of the largest sand dollars that's ever been around. This came from California, Baja region, 7 million years old. And these notches and the hole in the center, off center here, is meant so the animal doesn't float around with the tide and all that. Now, here's the bottom of it. There's a little bit in its mouth. And this has been prepared so well, you can even see where its little exit hole is, too. Its little butt. They always had it, like, right side by side. Yes, there's some damage to here, as you can tell. But overall, this is the most perfect one I've found in a whole lot. And there's a smaller one, but at the same time, I was like, no. I want the largest, grandest one. If I can put this back on. Oh, sorry about that. That's not even mine. This is a modern day sand dollar. And it's an Encope species. And you can almost tell a similar resemblance to the fossilized one. There's this mouth hole. There's this sphincter, or whatever you want to call it. Holes to prevent it from floating off very much. They could have been coated into skin. They could have been fuzzy. But yeah, this is just a modern day one that you're seeing here. So the whole echinoid family has some variations, but overall, if you can tell, they haven't evolved very much since they've been created eons, millions of years ago. So they may seem demeanor, not very exciting, but whenever you start getting a collection like this, that's when you start getting excited. You're like, I wonder what these really look like. I wonder what other types there are. I wonder what the largest is. If you want to start, collecting that, that's what you should look into. Size, the rareness. Like Fossil Era actually had, it was probably over $100 from what I gathered, but a sea urchin looked like a pencil urchin. And it was highly prepared to where all the pencils on it was all still there sticking out away from the matrix, which is the stone. That was epic. That was collector grade. I wish I would have been able to get it, because that would have been something special to be able to show you guys. But other than that, this is the video for this week. If you like my video, give it a like. If you like my page, hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the notifications to where you get them, and know that I always add something once a week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.